Good morning, everybody. This is the Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and we are back with more Wizardry, Tale of the Forsaken Land. You see the Labyrinth of Duhan in our background directly. That's not where we're going to start today, however. So I did promise we would turn in that quest first thing. So to the Luna Light we go. We're approached by Walter, who is looking for that book that we found in the 6th floor in that sort of foggy area where we couldn't really see the map. He goes, "Oh, you found it." Gave Walter the Book of Festivals. He says, "This is it. This is the Book of Festivals. Since the flash, I haven't been able to sleep, but now I can rest easily. Scholars like me have this funny thing. Searching for the truth, we're almost disturbed by not having the truth exposed. Thank you." Walter opened the book and began reading it aloud. It says, "The flames of Gehenna came from the sky and destroyed the towns. This city became ruins, which even the wild dogs avoided. Those who survived said that the sinful were being punished. They fell into a deep despair. But if that was true, then why are the detested black magicians still alive? Those born unto God are turned to ashes by the flash, and the wicked live on. The devout lie underneath the rocks, while the evil sing above them. There was supposed to be a ceremony on Judgment Day. The flame of Gehenna was not sent by God. The evidence indicates so. The evidence is the labyrinth that appeared after the temple collapsed. That evil existence shall tell all." Walter closed the book. He says, "Don't you think that this is exactly like Duhan? I will find the truth behind the stories of these two cities." We get a Sorcerer's Ring and 30,000 experience. That's a nice chunk of change there. Taking a look, bar's thinned out quite a bit. We've got 3 PCs and the bartender. 3 NPCs, sorry. 3 NPCs and the bartender, and that's it. Still can't touch that quest on the second page, or the third. So yeah, we've got Halpina's brother before anything else, and we ran into him there on the 6th floor. We just have to find our way through. So if you'll permit me a moment, as I did my usual lack of preparation. That's not true. My time was spent on a good cause this morning. I was brewing a pot of Parsalian's tea. And that was rather nice. Should be ready by the time I'm done. Speaking of ready by the time I'm done, it looks like Sarah's already ready for a level up. Nothing new to grab out of here. I guess there's not much to do but head into the labyrinth. Before we head down to the 6th floor and see if we could track down Hina's brother, what do you say we stop in and see if Gotts has more trap creation fun for us ahead? Got a treasure chest here, perhaps another chance to grab a transfer potion. Let's go ahead and check that out. Transfer potion it is. And here are some slimes that really wanted to meet us. Up to 57 damage now. And those experience totals aren't really going to be wildly affected by anything here in the first level. We know that. Let's just get these out of the way. I was hoping the slimes would continue down the path and we could sidestep. No such luck. So assisted shots and individual attacks. Look at Keo, 50 damage, a swing on those giant toads. Heck, Ricardo's only hitting for 55. Maybe time to find a new weapon for the old fighter. He's had that flail for a while. We've actually passed up on better sounding flails because of accuracy issues. Want to make sure when we swing, we hit. Get stopped before the Imperial quarters. A well-groomed knight stood in front of the door. He approached you in order to talk, possibly remembering you from the past. The knight says, currently, nobody is in the room. Sir Ladois has taken Her Majesty to a safer place. Her Majesty was unwilling at first, because of her strong sense of responsibility for Duhan. She was eventually convinced. Though both of them are not here, the labyrinth is still under her rule. Therefore, please continue your search. So that explains Ladois and Atelier's absence from there. Last time we saw them was in the aftermath of the battle with Incubus. We still haven't got to Gotts yet, and we're tracked down by Walter, the scholar we just spoke to at the bar. He says, do you remember me? Yeah, it's been about 150 feet or so. Says, I'm the person who had you search for a book. There's one thing I would like to ask you. He goes, are you intending to go deep into that labyrinth? Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game, right? Says, nobody has seen what exists deep in the labyrinth. Well, we've heard the swordsman did. He says, I believe I know what is down there, but there's no way for me to confirm that anymore. Walter left after he whispered some mysterious words. He says, we live in a dream. The voices of living beings, the voices of dead beings, in this boundless darkness. Our souls are desiring to sleep earlier than our physical bodies. Very foreboding. Now it's time to see our buddy Gotts. Says, hey, I knew you'd be coming around soon. It's Gotts Trap Part 4. Improved quality. This time it's made of stone. Although it looks fairly sturdy, it was ugly shaped because of the way it was carved. Says, I broke lots of swords while I was carving this stone. That's why it cost me 4,000 gold to replace those swords. Oh, my comrades, won't you spend 4,000 gold for me? I give you my dwarf goods that I collected. According to my calculations, I think this trap will last 40 times. And there's the hidden catch. I now have to disarm this trap successfully 40 consecutive times. Says, now, hurry up and try. Here we go. 4,000 gold. Well, 2 down. The buttons will get, like, mushed in my head by the end of this. Seems easy enough at the beginning. About 25 is where my mind starts going right off the rails. And as you can tell, it adds 10 times every time we go up a level. So by the time we get to the end, you're talking like 90 or 100 disarmings. Just seeing the buttons flash on screen used to be the most stressful thing of it for me. Just knowing that I was timed. Didn't really work well with deadlines in my younger days. Love it when it ends on a string like that. Don't have to worry about overpressing, just mash away. Okay, that one was nice and simple. That's halfway home. Okay. Good little workout for the thumb. Keeps it moving, keeps it active. Can smell the tea steeping in the background. That is a wonderful aroma. $29. That's 30. Time for the home stretch. Okay, 32 down. Five more to go. Just 5 between us and success. And then I almost fumble it there. One more. And we do it. 40 for 40. Just after you disarmed it 40 times, a portion of stone that was carved too thin cracked, and the trap fell apart. Dots goes, just as I calculated. It's broke after 40 times. Thanks, you. Here's be your dwarf goods. We got a Dwarf Shield. And that's it. Eyes be keeping on making traps. Comes to the test as many times as you want. So let's check out this Dwarf Shield. First things first. Let's check out the Sorcerer's Ring. A ring engraved with the Sorcerer's chant cures paralysis, increases a user's wisdom level. Not really going to help Hina, who's also ready to level. Doesn't look like it'll do a darn thing for Ricardo. Or Agog. Or Rui. And it would be a strict downgrade for Sarah. So we'll hand it to Rui. I'm pretty sure that we... Can we equip it? Nope, cannot equip. Because of the neutral alignment. That's why. Okay. Makes sense. Now this Dwarf's Shield. Obviously, it would help Hina, but it would also take away her ability to use a katana. It says a shield used in a dance during a dwarf's festival increases resistance to sleep. Is that better than the charmed small shield? Yeah, certainly is better than the charmed small shield, so we're going to hand that sucker back to Kyo. And that will increase Kyo's stats to 25 evasion and 25 defense. That is solid. Speaking of solid, everybody's up into that green tier of trust. Rui's even into that light blue tier, which is the second highest. So we're doing something right here. Make our way back through the Imperial quarters. And over to our shortcut to level 5. Kinda got nervous because I heard a growling sound off to our left, so I just sort of rushed in. Not too much experience gained there, but what do you want? It's a level 1 encounter. Make our way over to the door. Run headlong into a harpy with 4 orcs accompanying. No big worry there. We've rushed through everything so far. What's one more rush, huh? Hard to believe at this point in time that there was ever a point where rushing didn't just automatically drop those. But in all fairness, we've been at this a while. First weekend of May here. Started playing Wizardry all the way back at the start of the year. So it's been a lengthy little journey for us. Of course, I'm glad you've all been enjoying it, checking it out when you get the chance, and I've had a blast playing it. Go ahead, back up. See, that should save us from a back attack against these spiders, I would think. And as we know, the last thing I want to do is mess with spiders all that much. So we're going to go assisted spell. We'll let Rui carry this one. Let her cast a Jacrita. Throw a sweep attack out, just in case. Pretty sure the spell's going to do it, though. Powered up Jacrita should do the trick. Got 16 spiders there. So it'd be what, 128 legs? Yeah, that sounds about right. All crispy and neatly toasted, 5,000 experience the better. And it's our favorite type of encounter with, 16 spiders. One that's over before we could finish talking about it. Now it's time to drop ourselves down into the moldy fort. This is where things get a little tricky for me, so I'm going to take a moment here. Cast the map spell. So looking at the maps, we can go just north of east, so to the right and up a little. Go through those 3 little squares with the crossbow traps. That'll take us to that door, which will take us to a ledge. We weave down that area. Make our way all the way to the purple section of the map, which is the area that can't be mapped. Well, can't be seen on the map. And if we're careful how we walk, we'll actually find our way to that green room where we fought Incubus. And then it's just a matter of figuring out how to get through that breakable wall and track down Hina's brother. But first things first, we've actually got to get in range of that. So enough wasting time. Let's go on a bit of a walk. Coming up behind some spiders here. And some rotting corpses. This time we'll let Agog handle the spell. Once again, a Jakrita. And have Sarah attempt to dispel on the rotting corpses, even though I'm pretty sure the Jakrita will more than suffice. Again, see that fantastic flailing action of the rotting corpses? Best damage animation yet. See, now the experience is starting to get really tangible for our levels. Picking up all kind of cocoons today. Want to go down this hallway? Is this a giant encounter? Yep, 2 earth giants and a ninja. Allied action. Anytime you see a ninja in the group, we're going to end Lash. Assisted action. No, we don't want an assisted action there. We want a jump attack. Have Rui cast Strain. And Sarah will just attack. Just attack. See if the strain will hold. 2 for 2. That's what we wanted. Kyo now way up high. Endlash mainly coming from the ninja, but it's going to damage both of the giants, and that's a good start. Sarah hits with a quality 2 damage. And 150 from Kyo, my goodness. Now that just leaves a wounded giant. Kind of seems unfair, doesn't it? Not really an apology, but we knows what we're doing here, is what I'm getting at. Rui powering up Hina for a stun attack, does 90 damage. This giant thoroughly unable to move. Takes the full brunt of a double slash from Kyo and Ricardo, and down they go. Nice little encounter there. Opening the treasure chest afterwards gives us some as to yet unidentified chainmail. Hand that over to Agog. Into the appraising station it goes. It's cursed chainmail. Weak against fire, freezing, sleep, poison, and paralysis. Defense rating of 10 though, so great for damage. Let Sarah hold on to that. It's apparently a bit better than Blessed Chainmail, but only numerically. Making our way through the crossbow bolt traps. And we get cut off before we could get to the next one by 4 Master Thieves and a Gaze Hound. Okay. We know how this works. Restrict shot. Double slash on the Gaze Hound. Have Ricardo attack a Master Thief. And just to see if it'll work out, we'll try a sleep spell on the front row with Rui. We'll know real quick if this takes effect. And if we get the Gaze Hound, that'll be bonus. There we are, 3 for 3. Exactly how we wanted it. Double damage on the double slash. That's going to drop the Gaze Hound like a sack of potatoes. Ricardo gets double damage in on a Master Thief, and just like that, we are well ahead of the curve. Keep our Restrict Shot up just in case things go south. We'll just have Rui attack the Master Thief in the back row, get a little preliminary damage on them. Death Strike, whole bunch of damage too. I don't think the Master Thief was going to live. Switch to an assisted shot. And a double slash. Let's face it, it wasn't getting past the assisted shot. Just made that look easy. That was practically academic. And we get a shield. Disarm our crossbow bolt trap. Hand the shield over to Agog. And appraise, and we will go. It's a charmed small shield. It's not a bad item, just not the item we're looking for. More things we weren't really looking for: rotting corpses and spiders. But they're here, so no point in not dealing with them. Another Jakrita. And another Dispel set, just in case. Again, it's not that I don't have faith in this working. I think it'll work perfectly every time. You just hate to see that one instance that it doesn't. We got a critical and a fumble there. Neither one really factored into the outcome. It was all pretty much like we thought it would be. One great thing about those encounters is the experience. Unfortunately, they're also chewing through our spell counts a bit. Get out of the way there. Now drop down. Take a bit of a walk on the diagonal side. Kinda neat how you could do that. Hoping that's not a back attack. There we are. We were in the process of turning. The game was nice enough to spot us that. Should we go assisted shot? I feel like restrict shot is the safer call. Protect Hina and Ricardo, because Kyo is a ninja and has those magic foot skills. Let's go with a hold attack. And let's see how this all works out. Hina does 100 damage to the wyvern, but not enough to take it down. Only 50 done by the team of Ricardo and Kyo. First wyvern tries to go in for an attack on Ricardo and gets taken down by a restrict shot, and that is much the same story for the second. So back row bailing out the front row on that encounter. Forget which way we're supposed to go there. I guess that one-way door pretty well exemplifies that that's not the right path. Really hoping this is a friendly encounter as we see some ninjas of a slightly different coloration. They are in fact friendly. The back row are level 6 ninjas, and that tells you that there's a whole new level of lethality to those front row fellas. We'll let them pass, though. We'll let them off the hook this time. Another one-way door. Couldn't be a one-way door. It was just a one-way door on the other side. What was I saying? Here comes more spiders. That thing we all asked for, really. Assisted spell. Agog can handle this one. And if you're tired of seeing this by now, then tell the game to send me less spiders. Either way, end result's the same. Picking up another quality 2800 and change. Agog and Rui now very close to leveling. And Ricardo down under 50,000 to the next level. Say that so casually. We get stopped again. In the nauseating air, the stench of blood filled your nose. We get a nosebleed? What appeared out of the mists were two poison giants, the strongest of all giants. Who predicted the ending of this tragedy? Well, it's Eugene. You remember Eugene from way back in the day when he was kinda nice and a little standoffish to us, or back when he lost his party, went insane, and decided to abduct the queen? Yeah, overall complex fella. Says our beloved queen is really not but a soulless shell. It's called a homunculus, a living being that God himself forbade from being made. Sir Eugene guessed him, the man who had used monsters to kidnap the queen. Eugene says, I realized it by watching Incubus' response. Though he quite enjoyed it, for me it was just a waste of oh so precious time. The queen's heart was like an empty spring, devoid of emotion. We are all fools, deceived by Ledois' little doll. Eugene stopped speaking. He seemed to be in deep thought. Continues, if we are to believe she is a fake, then everything else makes sense. A soulless being can't stir the grieving hearts of the people. So, where's the real queen? Did she die in the flash? Was she taken somewhere? I must find out the truth. So for that it matters not how much I must sell my soul, for I will do it until I can endure it no longer. So the rumor was true? A woman's voice echoed clearly in the labyrinth. It's Grace. We remember Grace. She goes, Eugene, did you really make a contract with the King of Darkness to take over Duhan? And what if I did? She goes, do you think that God will forgive you? Open your eyes. It's still not too late. Before you're doomed to hell for all eternity, those who love peace will be the ones who receive God's blessing. Your parents were religious, so you knew that too. So why? Grace's voice was trembling and helpless, as if it would vanish at any moment. If you don't have the courage to stain your hands, there is nothing you can do. Grace says, God will never forgive your evil acts. Eugene says, I'm no longer fearful of such trivial things as death and destruction. I have but one path. Gain the crown or die trying. Once one starts evil, it must be followed through until the end. If that's the case, then let me come with you. Two people are far stronger than just one. Eugene says, do not concern yourself with me anymore. It is in your best interest to go back to town and find a new life. Do you really mean that? Eugene continues, I will rule Duhan. But until that day comes, there is nothing else meaningful here. Even if I could stop, it makes no difference. My body and my soul are no longer my own. Eugene. Grace was upset. Yeah, she kind of just got dumped. Her lips tightened and her arms shook. I hate the Flash. It destroyed not just the town, but people's hearts as well. He is not the same gentle, pious man I remember. He will never return until the dark fires of his ambition are extinguished. I'm going back to town. I can't stop him anymore. Time for a group chat. Ricardo says, "Hey, did you hear what he said? The Queen is a homunculus." Can you believe it? A homunculus is just like a human doll, you know? What was he planning to do anyway? What would have happened to the real Queen? I've no idea. Keo jumps in, says, "If what Sir Eugene said is true, then we've been deceived the whole time. Why would Lenoir do such a foolish thing as that, though? He will be punished quickly once he is exposed. On top of that, people were getting suspicious of the Queen's behavior. Was Lenoir just planning to keep up the act?" Sarah chimes in, saying, "I think I know what Lenoir is thinking. The real Queen is alive somewhere. He's using adventurers to find her, right? That's why the labyrinth hasn't been shut down and why we're encouraged to explore it. Of course, this is only if Sir Eugene's story is true. Other than that, I don't know what he has done." Ruby's turn to talk. She says, "Homunculus. Sounds weird. I get the chills just thinking of being in her shoes. What could have made him go crazy like that? He wasn't the type to do such things before. If he was such a person, then he would have never been made chief of the Queen's Guard. The Queen must be the cause, just as Eugene said." Now we'll get a little bit of conversation with Hina. She says, "The chief of the Queen's Guard relies on forbidden arts. There must be a reason. You know it's not always easy to see the truth. In this case, though, the truth seems to be surrounded by darkness. Those who are touched by it are not safe. You know, I get a really bad feeling that this labyrinth is filled with that darkness." Making our way through. Okay. Into the foggy area. We've got a bit of a battle ahead, and after we dispatch these wyverns, hopefully as easy as last time. Big double slash from Keo and Ricardo. And the wyvern comes after Keo. Misses with both of its attacks, though, so we're still in good shape. Don't ask me why I forgot the hold attack there, but I did. That's on me. I think pure offense is probably the way to go there. Although I don't know, the restrict shot is pretty huge. Agog now just 24 points away from leveling. Going to take a moment here. Pull up me map. Okay. Looks like we've got an Earth Giant and a couple of mages. Nah, we don't want to stun attack with Hina, do we? Nah. We want to stun attack with Ricardo. That should be more than enough. Just in case we're wrong on timing, and I don't think we will be, but we'll try a spell cancel. Now we'll use the advantage of casting melee attackers. Cheat our way to the back row there. And that should be more than enough weaponry to take out the mages on their own. See if the stun attack will hit. No, it is a complete miss. Should have gone restrict shot there. Lessons learned. One thing we won't have to worry about is that spell, though. Now let's see if Ricardo can endure against the Earth Giant. Earth Giant hits for 6, but just 6. Which means it's now time for our favorite combo attack in all of Wizardry, the stun attack and the double slash chaser. Once again, the stun attack misses. We are 0 for 2. Meaning that we did not get a ton of damage across there. Now the giant will take a crack at Keo. 0 for 1. 0 for 2. Hits for 17. Sharp damage with that hammer. Let's try it again. Can't lose faith. One of these times it's got to hit. Hina powered up by Rui. There it is. 45 damage and the paralyze. And this means double damage on the double slash. Looks so easy when executed correct. Got a couple level ups there. Treasure chest, picking up an unidentified short sword. We shall go identify said short sword, and then we'll cast a field spell, get that front row back up to full health. Grabbing us an appraising cookie. Promise, my son, I'd say that more often. It's a spiritual sword, cuts well, though not forged by a craftsman, said to be the work of a ghost. Enables the ability to kill undead. Not really that big a deal for us. Agog. Grab that field spell for the front row. See a chest just off this way, not the path we intend to go. But we will pick it up nonetheless. Looks to be a locked chest. We'll have our master thief Rui take a look. 3-button combo, no worries there. It's a transfer potion. Certainly chock full of those. Want to skip that path. This is the one we want. Make it to the wall. Then we want to go down. I think we wanted to go down there. Yeah. Want to go up. No, we did not want to go up. I'm now so confused. Yeah. That way. This way. And this should lead us to the door. Okay, we made it through. We are now in the Incubus Room, which will never stop being the creepiest sight we've seen so far, largely because of that battle. Nothing unusual, aside from it being an otherwise safe room that monsters are always walking through. Got 2 wyverns again. Just gotta believe in that restrict shot. We really do. Double slash. We'll have Hina and Ricardo do the double slash. See if Keo can lock into a death strike there. No, but 50 quality damage. We'll take the 50 damage. 1 wyvern definitely down. And the other one had the misfortune of going after Ricardo and gets plucked out of the sky by a restrict shot. Sometimes you just gotta rely on the old teamwork there, huh? Make our way down this corridor. This is that room with all of the poison sort of muck sitting on the ground. Here's an unpleasant sight for everyone. Got a minor daimyo, a major daimyo, and a couple bishops. So first thing we're going to do here, we're going to spell cancel. Who do we want to spell cancel with? I feel like spell cancel with Agog and Sarah is the best way to go here. We will end Lash with Hina and Ricardo. Cheese our way back to a level 8 bishop with Kyo, and the other bishop will be covered by Rui. That should be more than enough damage to take them out if everything hits. Yep, one bishop already gone. That's a good sign. There goes the other. Now if one of the samurai attacks, which it does, we should be relatively safe. Second one casts, and that runs headlong into the spell cancel. It's about the best possible result. Hina heals the damage she took back, and we get ready to lock and load again. Double slash on the minor daimyo, that should take that out. See if we could get a stun attack by Ricardo on the major daimyo. Let Rui pop it for an additional 25 damage. Yeah, no chance that was getting through. Now, come on, Ricardo. Sarah powering up the mace. And a miss. That was worth a shot. Unfortunately, the daimyo is casting. It's a teal spell. Racks the back row a little, but nothing too terrible. Let's try a stun attack from Kyo. Double slash from Hina and Ricardo. See Agog charging up that dagger. Hits for 63, and stunned the daimyo is. That leaves the samurai as a sitting duck. And more damage than you could ever hope to hit otherwise, befalling our enemy. Really racking up that experience. Not much we will say. Another wyvern battle. Double slash. Missed by Rui. 50 damage from Kyo. Double slash more than does its job. And the wyvern attacks Hina, which should finish this off. 71 damage for the finish. Yet another earth giant encounter, this one with the two mages. Stun attack. We now know it's the restrict shot we have to worry about. Should have figured that from the beginning. But hey, what do you want? Ooh, that could have been bad. I almost just cast a plain old Krita. Not going to do nearly the damage we want out of it. Will Ricardo finally hit a stun attack? Yes, and with a critical 54. Just takes one hit apiece. There. Giant back on his feet. Now that Ricardo's done it, let's see if we can do it again. Rui popping the giant real quick for a damage. And hey, even without the stun attack, Hina and Kyo on a double slash, just enough damage to get the giant over the line. Yet another treasure chest. What a rewarding run this has been. Allow me to take that back. All we got was a giant's tooth. But hey, it's something. Okay, so I believe we want to skip that pit first. Let me double check the map here. Eight. Or do we want to go down that one? Kind of a tough call. Okay. Couple gaze sounds. Double slash. Let's launch Ricardo for a jump attack. Have a Gog cast a Strain, and Rui throw a little extra damage the other gaze hound's way. Kyo and Hina, just too lethal a combination, and we are down to just one gaze hound. Ricardo, now perched high in the air, should be safe from a gaze attack. Let's see if the Strain will hit. Nope, got a barrier. Glare does nothing, so we have to remember Strain's not going to work on the gaze hound. Ricardo hits for a quality 82 damage, though. Just go for attacks there in the back row. Feel like this double slash should do the job, and that kill shot's not going to let me down. This is an interesting conundrum. Trying to figure this area out. Got a whole bunch of red slimes here. We'll let a Gog handle these. Don't really feel like messing with the red slimes all too much. For those of you at home, if you ever wondered what microwaving Jello was like, I feel that was an adequate simulation. Ricardo now less than 20,000 away from leveling, and at the rate we're going, we may very well hit that mark. I'm going to try going down that pit, but two gaze hounds stand in our way currently. Double slash that gaze hound. Launch Ricardo up in the air. Just have Agog defend. And Rui will cast a Flame spell. Reason Rui's doing it is to get it out there first and make sure that we have as much damage as possible hitting if we can. Doesn't look like it's going to affect the one Ricardo's targeting, though. Nope, full-on barrier. And a complete dodge of the second strike on the double slash, so plan's just not working out for us here. Ricardo somehow stunned on the glare. Unbelievable. He's stuck in midair and paralyzed. Maybe he falls down like a stone without hitting anything. I feel that's probably the most likely interaction. Let's restrict shot here. And we'll just have Rui attack. Well, Death Strike takes care of that gaze hound. And now Rui falls under the gaze of the gaze hound as Ricardo comes back out of it. Maybe a good time for assisted shot and individual attacks, even though it's only hitting 11 a pop. Kyo finishes it off just with a simple swipe of the dagger. 3,500 more in the bank. Down the pit we go. Now we have to figure out which way we want to travel. Go through this little webbed area and we find a whole mess of trouble. We've got a priest, a mage, and 3 major daimyo. We'll go for a Zakult, an empowered Zakult. Again, I feel an Endlash is a bit unnecessary and honestly not our best option here. Maybe individual actions. Gotta have faith in the spell to do its job. Let our Ninja Samurai combo take out the back row casters. Ricardo will attack there. Just on the off chance that things do go amiss, we'll throw a strain on the front row. Big old shards of ice down, up from the ground, and, well, it does over 100 damage apiece. Kyo petrifies the mage. Ricardo takes out the first major daimyo. And the priest falls to Hina. Both of the remaining daimyo try a basic attack, and they all miss on Ricardo, leaving a strain spell from Sarah. One samurai resists, the other very much under its guile. So we've got one held samurai and one able samurai, both incredibly wounded. Assisted shot and individual attacks seem to be the call here. Yep, they're going to fall to just about any damage, so the battle's not going past Kyo's attack. Did get a good bit of said damage, though. So we see that door opens and closes intermittently. Sort of a neat little trick. Got more red slimes. Which means we're going to get another Jakrita going. Both in the interest of time and in the interest of experience. I'd say we give them the hot foot, but they don't have a foot between them. Fair bit of resistance there, but the empowered spell just too much. That's 8,000 more experience and enough to level up Ricardo. If anybody in this party hasn't leveled yet, it's Keo. And I don't think we have quite enough time in the stream for that. We pick up a hair ornament. That's an interesting item. Hand that sucker over to Agog and let's see what we got. It's a mithril ornament, made from mithril silver. Helps resist poison, paralysis, sleep, and unconsciousness. Agog's already got one. Feel like it's not really going to do anything for Rui or Sarah, and the front row's already got items that help. So we'll just keep going. See where this leads us. Okay. Nothing unusual, but we do get plenty of poison there. Probably not the smartest idea of ours to walk on that. Also not the smartest idea of us to come all this way without any sort of antidote. But here we are. Got some rotting corpses. And Lash. Agog will handle that. And a Dispel just for good measure. We're going to continue a bit past 8 o'clock here. Just because we can. Barrier stops the spell from doing lethal damage on the final rotting corpse, but an End Lash will take care of that. Get through yet another pesky undead encounter. Seem to have a locked chest here. Is that locked and trapped? Locked in a magic point drain. Let's go ahead and open it. Nice and easy. And we pick up some chainmail. Hand that over to Agog. More cursed chainmail. Making our way through this little cavernous area, walking up. It seems like we're going to a pretty familiar location. Jacrito's really been the MVP of this particular session, hasn't it? Just blisteringly hot on that fire damage. And again, getting Keo primed. So we found ourselves back into the poison room. I feel like that's a good spot to go ahead and use a transfer potion, get out of here with our party's trust intact. Do think this is where we're going to end this little session of the stream as well. Do appreciate those of you who come by, check this out. Glad to know you're liking it and just happy to have you around. Chat a bit, enjoy some of the stuff I'm putting out there, and hopefully you learn a thing or two about a game that I've enjoyed playing. In the meantime, this has been a grumpy old guy gaming, hoping you have a fantastic day wherever you are and whatever you're up to. We'll see you around.